Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Bengals going up against the Jets. With that, we'll get up to the Meadowlands as we introduce our new Madden broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Guys, to use a Broadway term, break a leg.
All right, Larry, we'll see what we can do as we are indeed ready for football here at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, the opener of the 2016 NFL season between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Jets. And we've got a pair of teams that won double-digit games a year ago, but the difference, the Bengals at 12-4, they made the playoffs. The Jets, 10 wins, but they were left out.
And that's unusual because in the NFL, everyone aims for 10 wins. They feel like that safely gets them into the playoffs. Not that time for the Jets. They think they can take that next step now. Flip it over to Cincinnati, though. They've been so consistent. Their goal, though, get to the playoffs now and win.
It's the dawn of a new era for us at EA Sports as the 2016 NFL season is underway. And on the return, here comes Adam Jones. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by a two-time Pro Bowler in his sixth season. It's Andy Dalton.
And in 2015, prior to hurting his thumb and being unable to finish the season, you just heard his teammates rave about Andy Dalton's jump in leadership, where he actually took over the team, really assumed the role of being the starting quarterback, and carried himself that way as well.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now a former Tar Heel, Giovanni Bernard. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And he's got the hook up to Brandon LaFell. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And they thought they could exploit this defense with some really quick hitters, quick action. They worked on that in practice. We just saw it there.
And we saw them break it down to the fundamentals as well. Each position group had their own little work on it. You know, they worked on a drill here with the receivers, a drill there with the quarterbacks. Then they brought it all together. Now it's paying off in the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And, Charles, we get a look here at the key inactives, and I tell you what, a big list for being this early in the season.
If there's any silver lining at all, you're hoping you can get these guys back, and now you'll play well down the stretch with them. But what you're also hoping is that the guys who have to play for them, the next man up mentality kicks in, and those guys take care of business.
Passing, it's Dalton. And Eifert has it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. First and 10 for Dalton. And over the middle, it's LaFell. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Second down now after the pass completion. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. Deep drop. He drops it off for Bernard. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Dalton gives to Bernard. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Second down, Dalton, and the grab by Croft. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. Third down from the gun, Dalton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. Now fourth down.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win, and the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. And Bullock will put this one through, and the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by their quarterback in his 12th season in the league, and second at the helm of the Jets, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
How about the career he's had? I mean, if he's hanging jerseys on the wall at his house.
He's got quite a few.
Quite a few, right? Right? St. Louis, Cincinnati, right? Buffalo.
And Tennessee, Houston.
And now the Jets. And the offseason, boy, who knew how much he meant to a team? And you saw the reaction of the Jets players when they thought maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick wouldn't re-sign with them. They wanted him back in a big way, especially his receivers. 2
yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And here are the starters offensively. And one of the wideouts, Eric Decker.
Remember when he came out of school, out of Minnesota, and many thought he was nothing more than a number 2 or 3 receiver? He's proven everyone wrong. He's a guy who's a high-volume catcher and a terrific player downfield.
Second down following the run. Fitzpatrick to throw it. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Eric Decker, the intended target. And now it's third down. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
When you play against Carlos Dunlop, you have to think protecting your passer. He knows how to get upfield and rush the quarterback.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
And Fitz, the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Now a toss. This is Forte. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Again, they run. Again, it's Forte. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. So to carry that time for Forte, a man who turned 30 last December, Charles.
And he wants to make sure we forget about that with his new team, the New York Jets. But we do know that 30 is the dreaded age for runners.
And Forte so experienced, more touches than anybody else in the NFL the last 8 years. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Fitzpatrick now from the 50. And it's brought in by Eric Decker.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he's got Decker, left side. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
It's complete. He's got Eric Decker. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Fitzpatrick now going to give to Forte. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. The veteran Carlos Dansby in on the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. To throw, Fitzpatrick. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. Fitzpatrick now on 2nd down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Eric Decker, 38 yards. And the Jets have taken the lead. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
Nick Folk for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week 1 to see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Second down, Dalton. He's going to float this one deep right side. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Brandon LaFell, 76 yards. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
It's caught. Decker. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And quickly, they get to the line. Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Fitzpatrick. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Fitzpatrick on 3rd and 2. And able to find Decker. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary. A nickel look. To throw is Fitzpatrick. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Defense.
So pass interference, partner with all the rule changes. It is hard to be a defender in the pass game.
Brandon, is tough in college. It's a lot harder in the NFL. You can't touch him after 5 yards downfield. You can't touch him while the ball's not in the air. You can't touch him at all until the ball is at the receiver's hands. Very difficult to be a defender in today's NFL.
Fitzpatrick on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Fitzpatrick again. And his throw here's incomplete.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
So the roughing the passer penalty, 15 yards, and Charles, the defender, needs to know to stop there.
We've been talking about it for years. You essentially get one step after the quarterback throws his pass. Anything close to that or beyond that, you're going to get flagged.
First down, Fitzpatrick. And he's got Decker, left side. And he's brought down. 15 yards on the pickup there. That's good for a Jets first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So they're operating in the red zone.
Here we go.
1 receiver left, 2 to the right. From the red zone now, Fitzpatrick. Anunwa's got it, complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Fitzpatrick to throw it. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Defense.
Carry for Bernard. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both teams have arguably played well enough to be leading at this point, but you see the score and realize this one may very well come down to the wire. Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. 3rd down from the 40. Here the pass would be completed into coverage, and he ends up at the 29-yard line before he stopped on the play. Bengals, though, settle for just a field goal. Jets take it at the 39. Fitzpatrick's got the completion out of the gun. And he goes in for the TD to cap the drive. They're now on top by 4. Midway through the 2nd quarter, Dalton's got the completion out of the gun. He gone as he sprints to the end zone. The Bengals go up by field goal.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They start on the ground with Forte. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. 15 yards there for number 15. Patrick with a give to Forte. And a cut to the sideline. Matt Forte with green grass ahead. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Matt Forte, his first touchdown as a New York Jet. And the Jets have once again taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now Folk for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Now Jones. What a spin. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Darrelle Revis may not look like the prototypical corner in terms of body type. He looks a lot more like a running back, but he is the absolute ideal in terms of playing the position.
He's been proving it since 2007 when he came into the league, hasn't he?
Yeah, that he's done. Hey, what do they say? It's at your own peril if you try and throw it to Revis Island. He just knocked that one away.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And he stopped immediately there. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical, spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. 15 yards through the air on a first down. And the Bengal fans are probably saying, where has that been?
And they have to, because everyone wants to talk about having a balanced offense. But these two, Andy Dalton, A.J. Green, their connection is vital to their chances of winning.
First and 10 for Dalton. They find some open field here. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a third and 2 more. So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. Again, here's Bernard. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
3rd and 2 and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. Well, let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. New York set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a 2nd down throw for Fitzpatrick. And oh, what a catch there by Marshall. That one goes for 24 yards. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
And he got it there. This is Forte. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. Domata Peko, the one to get him down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
2nd down following the run. They come out here in the eye. They stay on the ground. Forte again. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. The pitch comes to Forte. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now a toss right to Forte. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
third down. Here's Forte. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Giovanni Bernard, nothing but green grass. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Giovanni Bernard, 93 yards. And the Bengals have taken the lead here in the 4th. And how about that, giving us our 5th lead change of the game? It's been back and forth.
No doubt about it, and right now, they're ahead, but they can't relax at all because if we've had 5 lead changes, I'm kind of betting on a 6th.
Yeah, we might see a 6th. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over, and they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth. Fitzpatrick now to throw on 1st down. Drops it underneath to Forte. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Fitzpatrick now on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Eric Decker was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams and the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
To throw, Fitzpatrick. And Marshall's got it. 15 yards there for number 15.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. First down, Fitzpatrick. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off, down the numbers. There he goes. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Now Bullock to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. Back to it after the pick six. Fitzpatrick looking deep downfield here for Decker. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
Yeah, now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slam. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now Fitzpatrick. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Decker that time, and it's 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Here's Forte. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Fitzpatrick to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Here's Fitzpatrick. And it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins. 3rd down here.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Fitzpatrick. And able to find Decker. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Eric Decker, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jets are able to make this a close game again.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard and the time left on the clock? As you noted, so many things to go through.
It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose you. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They'll run again with Bernard. Be brought down at about the 42. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on 3rd down. Here's Bernard. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So out now come the Jets. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Back to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Ten yards still left on 2nd down. He's back to throw. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it.
Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. He'll look to throw. And he's got Decker, left side. He's at the 30. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
I think it'd be real easy here to focus on maybe a defensive breakdown with that type of a play in this situation. But let's give a little bit of credit here. That type of play is clutch.
Boy, it was clutch, but to turn it back to the defense, how crushing is that? You think you got this thing won, and in the last moments, almost literally, you lose it.
Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
On for the extra point is Folk. And that will make this a 4-point game. One play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Offense still needing 10 yards, second down. One receiver left, three to the right. They'll look to throw. He's got time. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Jets, that'll be a happy locker room as they start the season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working